The lessons from 2025. What do you want to take forward from your year in your auto repair shop that will serve you in 2026? I'm Rachel Evans, the founder and CEO of The Workshop Whisperer, where we help auto repair shop owners just like you to achieve business success. I'm here on day 19 of our 30-day reset for auto repair shop owners, turning up at this time of year to show you that time really is no excuse. So if that was your biggest excuse rolling around in your mind in the year that has just gone, we're here to bust that excuse for you and help you get a red roaring start into the new year. It doesn't actually matter what day of the year you find this video. What we're looking to achieve here is for you to have some gentle reflection, and rather than dwell on what didn't go right, take forward into 2026 or whatever year when you see this video, take forward into the next year the lessons that will help you either avoid that mistake or amplify a great result that you had. Now, at the Workshop Whisperer, we bring our clients together 3 times per year in our engine room and $1 Million Mechanic boardrooms program to do something that we call strategic planning. And one of the elements of the planning stage is that we focus on lessons. So it's usually much easier to think about the things that went wrong than it is the things that went right. So we do encourage every single one of our clients, when they've dumped their big list of things that didn't go right for them, to also think, but what did go right? And what's the lesson you learnt from that you would like to move forward so that we can do more of that? So I encourage you today, for me here in Australia, it's the 29th of December. So we're sort of getting close to that turn of the new year where we like to make a set of promises and recommit and move into the next year all full of positivity. So let's do that armed with some actual data or information from a quick reflect on the year that's just gone. So there's a couple of areas that you will want to go mining for the lessons you want to move forward. And let's start with some of the lessons that have contributed to the financial result that you've had over the previous 12 months. Think back to times where something might have gone spectacularly wrong with a particular type of job. So you might have continued to say yes to work that led to you continually writing off time from a repair job. Now, that has obviously cost you dollars in the bank. It's probably caused a lot of frustration, and it may have even caused arguments out on the workshop floor. But what is it that you want to learn from that you can move forward into this coming year so that you reduce the incidence of that time being written off on those kinds of repair jobs, or you actually reduce the incidence of you saying yes to taking that work in the first place? This is one of the biggest challenges we help our clients overcome, is knowing what work to say yes to and what to feel okay to say no to. And if there's a particular make and model of vehicle or a particular type of repair where you just might not have the experience in your team to consistently produce the outcome you need, and every single time you do it, despite you being there to oversee, you're losing 10 hours. When something like that happens repeatedly, the way you need to look at it is, what could I have booked in that time? Maybe 5, 6, 7 services that would have gone like clockwork. We wouldn't have written any time off, and we would have been able to achieve our benchmark gross profit percentage on those jobs, as well as our gross profit dollars per hour. So it's also okay to when the customer calls and says they've got this type of job where it keeps going pear-shaped for you, you let them know we're not the ones to do that particular job. Here's the number of somebody else down the road that can help you. Okay? It's okay to make your competitor busy with the work you don't want. Don't let your fear mind tell you you've got to say yes to every single type of work that a customer requests from you. Because if it doesn't make you the GP you want, if it doesn't allow you to charge out all the hours you spent on it, and it causes anxiety, frustration, even arguments in the workshop, don't do it. Put your time, attention, focus, effort, resources into the jobs where time doesn't get written off and you get the GP that you need. So recapping there, what lessons would you like to take forward from things that did not go well, repair-wise or logistics-wise, in the workshop? Let's move on to leadership. What things didn't go so well or really did work well in terms of leading your team over the past 12 months? Maybe you hired your first team member, or maybe you hired your 15th team member. What did you learn about the team dynamic and your ability to lead it over the past 12 months that you either want to correct or want to do more of moving into the next calendar year? What lessons are available to you upon reflection about how you handled the revenue that came through your auto repair shop in the last 12 months? Were you struggling to meet all of your financial commitments? Are you currently on a payment plan with the tax office because you weren't putting money aside every week for GST or sales tax, depending on where you're located? And you're also behind with your employee entitlements for their retirement funds. If you're in that situation, then you definitely need to acknowledge why that occurred. Is it because your GP isn't providing enough for you not to dip into that money that's not yours in the first place? Okay, GST in Australia and New Zealand, sales tax elsewhere in the world, that money's not yours. You're collecting it on behalf of the government. So you should not be using it to fund the operating expenses of your business. If you find that you are, that is your business screaming at you that your margins are too fine for the revenue that you're bringing in. Sales increase in revenue will outrun any issue that you have expense-wise, provided your expenses are in line with the benchmarks as well. So if you find yourself in this cash flow challenged position and it's because of either of those things that I've just mentioned, you're spending the government's money instead of the excess money you have left over after the jobs are done, or you're simply not earning enough in the first place, what are the lessons that we need to move forward with? If you're spending the government's money, then we need to set up some separate accounts for you to move that money away, or better still, you start paying the government GST or sales tax weekly, get it out of your bank account, and you also start paying your employee superannuation or retirement benefits weekly as well. It was, for my own auto repair shop business, the best way to ensure that you never end up on a payment plan again. Get rid of it, get it paid. Then it's going to feel quite challenging with the money that you have left over, but only then will you actually recognize and be motivated to have a proper look at your margins and what you're charging for the jobs that you're doing. So there's a certain profit that your auto repair shop needs, and if you're not properly investigating what that is, you will continue in this cycle of struggle financially until one of two things happen. You actually go out of business because the last dollar was just spent and the hole is too big, you can't bridge it anymore, Or you actually decide you are finally sick enough of the struggle and you put your hand up and you ask for help. So, what lessons do you need to carry forward from your financial result of the last 12 months? If you had a great financial result, congratulations. What lessons do you want to move forward into the next year about how to do that again and amplify it so we have growth? What worked well for you? Have a deep dive into that. Was it because you applied the parts matrix that we use here at the Workshop Whisperer and you're actually now pricing for the profit that you deserve? Was that the thing? Was it that you were able to cut expenses sustainably for the business and there's simply more money left over? Is it that you stuck to continuous time clocking and actually held your technicians accountable to it, and all of that extra labor profit has gone straight to your bottom line? Whatever it is, investigate and push it forward into the next 12 months. And what lessons are there for you to take forward into the next year about your time as the business owner and how much freedom that was able to buy you? You might already be back at work right now. Your workshop might be open if you're in the Southern Hemisphere and it's the holiday season, but you haven't been able to have an actual shutdown period other than the public holidays. Is that what you want for next year? Think about that first of all. If it's not, set up an account, set up a bank account that is your Christmas shutdown account. Start saving for annual leave for your team members, plus salary over the shutdown period that you want to have for yourself. Start putting a tiny amount away each week to contribute to your your December bills, so that you've got a contribution towards that. That allows you to still clear everything on December 30, 31 next year and allow you to relax. If you haven't had a shutdown period this year other than the public holidays, then let's next year go for the whole week between Christmas and New Year, plus whatever few days it is until you reach the next first working day of January. And let's start there. And what about other periods during the year? Did you get to have a break? Did you get to pick your kids up from school on any days? Were you able to help develop anyone's leadership skills in the business so that you could step in and out from time to time? If you weren't and you'd like to be able to do that, there's our lessons that we want to move forward into the next year. And you might want to put your hand up and ask for some help on how to do that. If we don't consciously look at the year that we've had, the good and the bad, and move the lessons forward, we are more likely to get a replica of the year we've just had, particularly if it was unsatisfying, as we move into the next year. So just spend a few minutes today or whenever you see this video and think, my leadership, results on the workshop floor, financial results, and my time as the business owner. What are the lessons from the year we've just had, and what do I want to move forward into the year ahead? If you're new here on the channel, please subscribe, and also please like this video so it goes far and wide. I'll be back tomorrow to see you for day 20.